Heli Direct! What's going on, everybody? Jeff West here with Heli Direct, and today we have the YX F180V2 on the table. So we're going to go over a full unboxing, look at what we get inside this really nice aluminum case with latches, go ahead, get it set up, and get a flight review on this model as well. So let's go ahead and get started. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. So we're going to go ahead and open up our case here. We have a very nice metal carrying case with two latches. So just go ahead and open this up, and you will notice that we have nice foam protection on the inside. So the first two things right on top are going to be your manual. This is going to be for the functions of the ready to fly radio. This is a full ready to fly helicopter, so you get everything exception of the 4 AA batteries that you need for the transmitter, but you get a charger, LiPo. We'll go over all that. So this little paper here, go ahead, read it. This gives you every little piece of information you need to know. And then this is going to be your user manual. This also gives you every piece of information you need to know about compass calibration, flights of the radio, which we will go over. So the first thing we're going to go ahead and take a look at is this little bag that we got here. So in this little bag, it's going to be your charger. So this is going to be for your LiPo. It is a USB plug-in, so you'll need a wall mount or some kind of way to plug your USB in. You get a spare tail blade here, as well as a spare set of main blades, and you get a little Allen wrench, which I'm going to assume is a 1.5, as well as a little tiny Phillips. So that is in your little spare parts bag. You also get your transmitter here. Now this is a YX transmitter. These are little foam gimbal protectors, so you go ahead and pull both those off. So it's a very nice feeling transmitter. It's very lightweight, and the gimbals actually don't feel that bad. So you have your antennas here. So this will be out like so when you're flying, and you have your different switches at the top. So this switch here all the way up is heart mode, down is circle mode, so you would flip it down. And then here is auto and manual mode. So when it's in auto mode, that's full GPS. Manual mode is you fly it completely. This is going to be your lock and unlock. So this would be motor run, motor off. And then this is for GPS position and sensor hold. So we're going to go over this radio in a second, but it is a very nice radio with a sprung center for your throttle / collective, and then your normal cyclic on the right hand. Now, the last thing we got in our case here is the helicopter itself. So we have our YX. So you notice that we have a full aluminum head, blade grips, head block. We also have aluminum washout arms, mixer arms, as well as an aluminum swash plate, carbon fiber anti-rotation bracket, a very nice painted plastic canopy, as well as a carbon fiber tail boom with our GPS mounted right on the boom, screwed on with a clamp on the bottom, an aluminum tail motor mount, as well as a carbon fiber tail fin, brushless direct drive tail motor, as well as a brushless direct drive main motor. We have some nice nylon flexible skid, so it'll take some abuse and bouncing. We have very stiff nylon composite plastic main blades, as well as our landing sensor at the bottom here. And this is a spot for a little FPV style camera. So we're gonna go ahead and pull our canopy off. We have nice little rubber grommets to hold your canopy on here, and then also all plastic into here. Your battery comes already preloaded right into the helicopter. You're gonna have your fly barless unit on the top right here. And there's also a little section for S-Bus right here if you're gonna use S-Bus. This is the side for your tail motor to plug into this side. And then these are your little 2mm bullet connectors for your main motor. We have 3 nice little servos with plastic arms, direct linkages from the servo to the swash plate, so no messing around with adjustable linkages. Everything is already preset there for you. And then your battery is on a little tongue latch right here. You pull this little latch, slide the battery and tray right out the front here. And then you are using a little 3-cell 700 milliamp battery with a XT30 connector on the battery itself, as well as an XT30 connector onto the ESC and fly barless unit. It says everything right here, Surpass 3606 direct drive. Very simplistic design, easy to work on, especially if this is going to be your first helicopter. So let's go ahead, grab some batteries, get this thing plugged in, and make sure everything works. Now, for the first official power up, we're gonna need 4 AA batteries, which we have right here. So now if you buy yourself this ready to fly package, you shouldn't have to do any compass calibration or anything like that. That is mainly just for when you are binding it to your own transmitter. The model is set up from the factory. So you're gonna slide your back battery plate off, put your AA's in, start with negative first, negative, and then just put the flat side to the spring here, flat side to the spring. Go ahead, put your battery door back on, flip your transmitter over, push and hold your power button. The radio will light up. It'll tell you that our transmitter is full here, and it also has telemetry for the flight battery of the helicopter itself, and it will show you that here. So now we can see that our little lock where it's danger, don't know why it says danger, but that is rotor lock. This is unlocked. So motor off, motor on. So now we're gonna go ahead, and you can see it down here. When you flip this switch to fly, it says fly. That is motor run. This is motor off. So we are in hold mode, motor off. We're in manual mode. We're gonna take our helicopter here, and we are going to power up the model. Now, this is a new assembly. Take your blades off. So we're gonna let it power up. The radio just found it. We heard it beep. It shows us our voltage. Let it initialize. It finds the GPS, and you give it a second to fully come up and ready to fly. So once it finds GPS, the solid light on the GPS will be solid green color, and the light on the flybarless unit will be a red and green color, which is really hard to pick up. So then nothing will work. So when we're moving our stick, nothing will work. Now, in order for it to work, you have to flip it into unlock motor mode. But until you move your sticks into a position, it will not start. But this will let you see everything working. So now we're gonna head to the field, and I'm going to show you how to get it to engage and start working, and we'll go for a flight. So we are now at the flying field. We got the helicopter powered up, and we let the GPS find its satellites. It takes like 2 to 3 minutes. You could tell by the light on the GPS is green, like on the bench part of the video. So now we have our transmitter here. Now you'll notice some things on the transmitter, the switches like we talked about. So this is manual mode, is this switch all the way down. Auto mode is this switch up. This is where it'll automatically hover and hold position. So we're gonna start in manual mode. We'll flip to auto. Now this is our motor off and motor on with lock and unlock. And then our GPS position switches here. So middle is GPS position. Up would be hold at a lower altitude fly. And then all the way down would be hover land. And then we have a one-touch landing button here. So you push this, it'll automatically come down and land. There's a little sensor on the bottom. Now, wherever you power it up at, if you do the return home, which is the switch all the way down, it's going to come back to where it took off from. So we powered it up here, so we're gonna test that. Now, mode here. There's this little button on here that says mode. This is the mode button. You push that, you flip it one way, and that'll get the helicopter to go upside down. But just remember, all your controls are reversed like a normal 3D helicopter. And then H and L button here is your head speed high and low. So what you're gonna do to start the helicopter, we are going to flip off this hold switch here, unlock, everything will move. We're gonna do sticks down and out, and then give it some throttle. And the helicopter will take off, and it'll go up to a few degrees right here. So now this is manual mode. So it's not hold, you can see it drifting. You still have control. Now if we put it in auto mode, that is a GPS hold right there. So we still have control, but the helicopter is going to hold into position. And as we can tell, the light on the boom is red. So right now the helicopter is in position. You push forward, you have very limited control of the model. Very solid, but you still have control. That's full yaw. We can go up, we can come down. So now we're gonna flip back out of auto mode. We are in manual mode. So now we have full flight tuning and flight capabilities. So this really lets you learn. Now if we flip to this switch here, which is the H switch or heart switch, it's gonna go ahead and do a heart shape, which is what it's doing right now. So it'll continue going around, and it'll do a heart as it flies on its own. Now remember, it's all doing it on its own. Full, then you at any time you can get out of it. Now, here is the head speed button. So when we push high, head speed increases by a little bit. So now we have full auto mode. We can go back to auto mode here, bring the helicopter back. And we go back to auto mode, and it's gonna hold in that GPS hover. So now we can bring it down, and it's going to hold itself in that position. So the helicopter is just holding itself there. It's fighting any little bit of wind that it comes by. So the GPS and the flybarless unit on this model is very solid. And again, when you yank and bank the sticks while you're learning, this really limits your control. Back into manual mode. And then if we flip this little switch here all the way up, now we're in GPS mode. This is going to limit all the way up our flight. It has a sensor on the bottom to limit how high you are. So now we're just flying it in manual mode. Let's get a little bit of height, put it back in GPS mode. This little switch right here does auto back home for landing. So if we flip it there, it should come back. We're back up. So now it's coming back to where it took off from. It's all on its own right now. Right now it's landing completely on its own from where we took off, and then it shuts down. So now we're gonna flip it back into regular mode. We're gonna go back to lock, unlock, motor start, and fly again. So this is a great little helicopter for somebody that is looking to get into it. Maybe you guys fly drones and quads and you're used to the GPS and you don't want to get into something that doesn't make you scared. We got great flight times. The helicopter is very solid for a small machine. And now I can't make the auto invert in the 3D mode work. So we'll have to figure that out. But for right now, for the normal person trying to fly, this is what you want. You just want something that can teach you, that makes you learn. But the auto heart and that does work all the way up, and we are limited. Again, we can go back into auto GPS mode. So now we're in GPS mode, but you still have control, which I think is cool. So when you're learning, you still have full control of the helicopter. This is a great feature. So let's go ahead and set this down. We're gonna go back to manual mode. We're gonna land it manually. Shut the motor off with the lock switch, and there we go. We have 1 bar left on our battery telemetry on the transmitter itself. So there you guys go, flight review and flight on the F180V2 GPS equipped little helicopter. I think this is a awesome little machine, especially if this is what you're looking for, a GPS equipped model. Flies very solid, doesn't let the little bit of wind bother it at all. The GPS holds very well, probably the best I've tried so far for GPS helicopters. It does really work. Part count is low, it's a great price. So go ahead and check it out in the link in the description below. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Take care and have a great day.